All right, think of me as your academic advisor for a few minutes, because we are about to unpack a completely new map for your education and your career. Seriously, this is a whole new way of thinking about how you learn, how you grow, and how you build your future. It's all about connecting every single step of your journey.
So let me ask you something. Is the path you're on a single, rigid ladder? You know, the kind where one slip up feels like a dead end? Or are you building a web where every single skill, every experience connects to everything else, creating tons of paths to success? For a long, long time, our system felt way more like that ladder. But that's all changing. So let's get into it. To really get why this new roadmap is such a big deal, we first need to take a quick look at the old system and all the challenges it created.
On the left, yeah, that was the old maze. General education was over here, and vocational training was way over there, with this huge wall between them. If you picked one, trying to switch was a nightmare, and it often led to these really frustrating dead ends. And maybe worst of all, skills you learned on the job, they just didn't count for anything officially. But now, look at the right. This new roadmap is all about integrated pathways. It's building bridges, not walls. You've got multiple entry and exit points. It formally recognizes your skills no matter where you got them, and it lets you move up, that's vertical mobility, or even switch streams completely, which is your horizontal mobility.
So what's the key that unlocks all this? It's a single, unified map for everyone, and it's called the National Skills Qualification Framework, or as we'll call it, the NSQF. Its whole purpose is to connect these different worlds of learning into one system that actually makes sense. So what is it, really? Well, the official definition calls it a nationally integrated education and competency-based skill framework. Okay, let's cut through the jargon. The two phrases you really need to hear are competency-based and learning outcomes. What this means is the system cares about what you can actually do, not just the classes you took. It's all about your proven skills, no matter how you got them. Okay, so let's see how this whole thing is built. We're going to dive into the core of the NSQF, the levels. Think of these levels as the clear, reliable landmarks on your new educational map. They're the milestones that guide your journey. Now, before we get to the levels, we have to talk about what they're built on. Learning outcomes. This is the bedrock of the entire system, and honestly, it's a revolutionary idea. It means we measure education not by how much time you spent sitting in a chair, but by what you can actually prove you know and can do when it's all said and done. The whole framework brings a ton of clarity by organizing every qualification into a clear progression of 8 main levels. And there are even some half steps in there for more detail. This creates a really transparent pathway from the most basic skills all the way up to super advanced, specialized knowledge. And just look at how this works. At level 2, we're talking basic knowledge, doing simple tasks with a lot of supervision. But jump up to level 5, and the expectation is way higher. You need to know principles and processes, and you're solving real problems with some responsibility for other people. Then you get to level 7, now you're dealing with complex problems, you have deep theoretical knowledge, and you're fully responsible for a whole team's output. See the progression? So here's the big takeaway. Moving up these levels isn't about how many years you were in school. It's about showing that you can handle more complexity, work with more independence, and demonstrate a higher level of skill. The system values your capability, not just your report card. Which brings us to the currency of this new system. I mean, how do you actually measure and carry your learning from one place to another? Well, that's where credits come in. They are the universal money of your educational journey. So a credit is basically official proof. It's the system's way of saying, yep, you've successfully learned this stuff. It's the unit of currency that measures what you've learned and, this is the important part, makes it portable. And the system makes it really tangible. 1 credit is equal to 30 notional learning hours. That's just a fancy way of saying the estimated time an average person would need to get the job done. This simple formula is the key to making all these different kinds of learning comparable. So what exactly counts as learning hours? Well, this is the best part. It's not just sitting in a classroom. The system recognizes all of it. Lectures, lab work, internships, on-the-job training, even structured self-study. It all counts. And the process is so wonderfully simple. 1, you complete a course or a training module. 2, you pass an assessment to prove you actually learned it. 3, you earn your credits. And 4, you can save those credits up and transfer them to another program. You build your qualifications piece by piece, on your own schedule. Okay, so you get the levels, you get the credits. Now for the really fun part. Let's look at how you can use these amazing tools to take control and map out a future that's completely your own. I want you to think of these as your new educational superpowers. Multiple entry and exit, that means you can step away from school for work or family and jump right back in later without losing all your progress. Vertical mobility is that clear ladder to the top. Horizontal mobility is the freedom to change your mind and switch paths. And recognition of prior learning. Oh, that might just be the most powerful one of all.
RPL is the official process for getting your existing skills recognized and certified, even if you learn them on the job or through life experience, not in a classroom. For millions of people who have incredible, hard-won skills but no piece of paper to prove it, this is an absolute game changer. It says your experience matters.
Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a fantastic technician. She's been doing her job for years, she's an expert, but she never got a formal diploma. Through RPL, she gets her skills assessed. Boom, she's awarded a level 4 qualification and all the credits that come with it. Now she can skip the basics and enroll directly into a higher level degree program, saving a ton of time and money.
Or what about a student right out of high school? He starts a vocational IT course, finishes the first year, earns his credits. But then he realizes his real passion is science. Instead of starting all over again, he transfers those credits and gets to start in the second year of a Bachelor of Science program. That's horizontal mobility right there. Amazing, right?
And listen, this isn't just my interpretation. This is the official mission. The system is specifically designed, and I'm quoting here, to allow people to move between education, vocational training, and work at different stages in their lives according to their needs and convenience. It's all about flexibility.
So, the takeaway here is really clear. Your educational journey doesn't have to be a rigid one-way street anymore. It's a dynamic map, just filled with possibilities, new routes, and countless destinations. The only question left is, where will you decide to go next?